I'm going to do is list 5 things you should never waste time doing in your life. A survey was done asking 10 100-year-olds what is the biggest mistake that they think most people make in their life. Almost unanimously, they replied most people spend their whole life wasting time. See, unfortunately, when we're young, we think we have a lot of time. We always think that there's always going to be a tomorrow to work on the problems that we're having today. But the truth is, time is a costly currency. And once we spend time, you can never get it back. For me, one of the biggest wastes of times in my life was living someone else's version of who I should be. You see, I believe Steve Jobs once said it best. He says, your time is limited, so don't waste your time living someone else's life. You see, a lot of times we waste the best years of our lives by trying to live up to someone else's version of who we should be. And that brings me to the number one thing you should never waste time doing. And that's living your life based on someone else's version of who you should be, especially if it's not making you happy. See, this is a waste of time and energy because it will only lead you to a whole bunch of regret. And that leads us to the number 2 thing on my list that you should never waste time doing, and that's seeking happiness. I know this sounds crazy when you hear it at first, but hear me out. You see, a lot of times we spend our time seeking happiness, looking for something outside of us to find something that we should already have. You see, happiness is not something that you find. It's something that's discovered. And when you discover something, that means that you already had it the whole time. You see, most people believe that happiness or unhappiness depends on their circumstances. And that's where the big lie comes in. Because the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation. It's always your thoughts and perceptions on how you perceive that situation that determines whether you're happy or unhappy. So, seeking happiness is a total waste of time. If you want to be happy, this is what I tell people. Just learn to be happy. Learn to be you. Figure out the things that you love and do that because of your reasons, not someone else. And that brings us to the 3rd waste of time. That's doubting your abilities, doubting your worthiness, and doubting the true powers that you were born and blessed with. You see, when we were babies, we didn't have doubt. It took thousands of you can't do this, you can't do that, you won't be able to do this, and you're not worthy of that. It took all of this stuff to make us believe that we did not have the God-given birthright to be great. Matter of fact, for us that have children out there, think back to the first time when your children asked you, could they do a certain thing, and you told them that they don't have the capabilities. And I am pretty sure that their first question back was, why not? This should be the first question that we start to ask ourselves when we allow mental roadblocks to stop us from going after the things that's going to make us great. And remember this, at the end of the day, it's your opinion of yourself that matters. And it's this honest opinion that will track what you get out of life. Nothing more, nothing less. And while we're here on the subject of opinions and values, that leads us to the 4th thing you should never waste time doing in life. And that is valuing other people's opinion that's not providing value inside your life. Notice I did not say that no one else's opinion should matter to you, because that is also not true. The fact is that we are social beings, and so other people's opinion does matter. Where we often make the mistake is allowing people who do not matter to have an opinion that affects us and stops us from achieving what we want to achieve in our life. And now I want to talk about the most formidable enemy to our future, and that brings us to number 5 on our list. Now, this could have easily been number 1, 2, 3, or 4 on our list, and this formidable enemy against our future is the past. Unfortunately, most people waste time in the past that no longer exists. Sure, we all have experiences that we would love to forget, forgive, or seek forgiveness for in some sort of way, shape, fashion, or form. But we have to remember, these experiences, once done, should be done. You see, the past, while real at one time, is only a concept or series of thoughts that we give power to. And the longer we allow negative memories to rule our lives, the harder it will become to get rid of them. I think Oprah once said it best. True forgiveness is giving up all hope that you can change the past. So we must learn that when something is done, let it be done. Learn to invest in your presence and watch how beautiful your future can be. And that is my list of 5 things you should never waste time doing in life. Listen, if we master not wasting time on these things, we will find that we have so much more energy to invest in the growth of our business, invest in the growth of ourselves as people, and then hopefully affect the people around us that we care about so that they can make the same positive changes in their life that we've been making. I thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.